Hello, Bear Watchers. I'm at the railroad depot this morning because I heard something, and if I can make it happen for myself, I'm gonna try to do it. So I called this morning and I was like the third person in line, and I thought, yeah, I got a little bit of time. I'll just go down to the railroad station. So let's do this. Look, they are ready for people.
I'll shovel coal, Lord, to pay my fare. Gotta get this train down to the station. My little girl waiting for me there. Well, the night is dark and Lord, it's cloudy. I've been traveling that lonesome road.
We're gonna have to come back for this. I found out when it's gonna be open. They've got all kinds of neat historical things here. Well, it didn't work. They're running an event train down to Nenana tomorrow for a Golden Spike ceremony. It's a 100-year anniversary of President Harding driving a Golden Spike into Nenana to finish the railroad to come up to Fairbanks. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but it's for building the bridge down there. I'm gonna have to get more information because I don't want to lead you guys wrong. But, well, I'll have more information because they did a time capsule when they drove that Golden Spike. And so it's 100 years old. They're going to open it tomorrow. They're going to have this big, huge celebration in Nenana. So I am going to be there, which means I'm going to skip Golden Days, which is, you know, a phenomenon for me because I love Golden Days and I love everything. See, and this is the problem this year. I feel so disoriented and just, it's weird because sorry, I'm watching a robin out here. He's grabbing all these berries off a tree or a bush. But it's been strange because I'm not doing the things I would normally do, which is okay because, you know, all of you that have been following me for years, you're probably tired of seeing the same thing over and over, you know, routine. But it just, I had, you know, I always have all these plans in my head and everything is changing this year. So I'm used to routine. but this Nenana thing, I am really, really happy to do this. It's, you know, it's a 100-year event and I'm excited. I'm excited to show you. So the rest of this video will be that, and it'll be a whole day event. And, you know, it goes from 9 o'clock in the morning, which means Heather's going to have to figure out her own way to work. and I have the day off because we close our office for Golden Days because the parade comes through town and our office is in town. So, yeah. All right, we'll get you to the video.
Sending all of long old train back.
Well, hello, bear watchers. Guess where I am? I'm not in Fairbanks. I'm so used to saying we. I came out here all by myself. Mary's still camping, and Heather had to work today. And today is Golden Days, and I wanted to do this railroad dedication 100-year anniversary Golden Spike history thing. so I'm out here in Nenana, where they're gonna be commemorating the 100-year anniversary of the Golden Spike that was driven into the railroad from President Harding, and we'll find out all about it. So it took me an hour to get here. I'm gonna move this camera. It's too close. It took me about an hour to get here, and from Fairbanks, I got behind a couple of slow drivers, but it's 55 miles. So by the time you get through town and everything else, so it was a pretty nice drive. It's a little dreary and drizzly, and it rained pretty hard for a little bit there. It's 50 degrees this morning, and so I'm glad that I brought this and my raincoat. I'm gonna see how it goes with just my raincoat, because they've got tents and things over here. But I think most of it's going to happen at the depot. I think they're going to do something by the bridge. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. It starts at 9, so about 25 minutes. And it goes until roughly 3 o'clock this afternoon with all the things they have going on. So it'll be fun. The train that I was talking about, it was just for dignitaries and politicians and whatever coming in from Fairbanks. So I don't know if they actually can get to the depot. I've taken the train to Denali before, and you come through Nenana, but I'm not sure where it goes. I know it goes through town that way, so there might be another depot, but this is the historical depot over, where we're going to be. All right, let's go check it out. I headed right to the Railroad Museum. The lady in there was very informative, and when I was talking to her about all of the happenings, they brought in the Golden Bridge that was given to President Harding in 1923. So I thought that was a lucky catch, that I just happened to be there when they brought it in. So it was beautiful. And we'll talk more about this later in the video when the mayor gives his little speech. The schedule that I got from the internet was different from the schedule for the people coming in on the train, because they were coming in at a later time. The vault is open every 25 years, so all of the things in the vault was actually from 25 years ago in 1998.
This was from 1998, right? Yep, 25 years.
So they open these time capsules once every 25 years. So all of these things were put in there 25 years ago. I should go around the other side so I could see.
Oh, okay. So it's south.
After everything comes out, we're going to display it all on the table, and it'll be displayed for the rest of the day.
All right, Senior Center of Nenana hat. Taylor for governor pin. And a card for state senators. Touchable photographs. They're actually in really good condition. A whole bunch of business cards and $2 bills. Paper clip's a little rusty. Can of barge lines. River level graph. Can of barge lines hat. And it looks like a bib for the fire plug. Oh, for Nenana seniors. Entertainment magazine, 1998. Nenana News. Nenana Volunteer Fire and EMS Department letter. And this is from the Alaskan Legislature celebrating the 75th anniversary. Cocktail store, 75 years.
Like I said, most of the things from the vault were from 1998. There were a couple of things from the previous years that they put into the vault back in there with all of the other things from 1998. But even just 25 years ago is pretty interesting. They had things from their school and newspapers and plans, letters. It was just pretty cool to see all the things that this little town thought would be memorable. You had school pictures, pictures from the previous ceremony, and then we started the rest of the things that they were going to do in town. There was a little break, so I went to a gift store, and later on that gift store they had like a little cafe in there. They gave ice cream, or they were selling ice cream, and then later on they gave everybody free root beer floats with their lunch, because we were served a lunch at the ceremony. Wow, this looks like an interesting little truck. I have to check this out. This lady had some most beautiful beads and beaded jewelry. A lot of the beads she makes herself. There were drones from the University of Alaska. The Pioneer Air Museum was there. They were donating a plaque that's going to be put into bronze in the square here. So this is a brand new gazebo, and they were actually just putting the steps on this week. So they wanted it all finished for this event, and they're going to do a commemoration of the Ben Eielson flight over here. And this has been donated, this plaque, from the Pioneer Air Museum. So this is what the plaque will look like. And like I said, it's going to be put into bronze and it'll be put in the little town square here. So I can't wait to see it. So they have the road blocked off. They have a little game over there for the kids. Cog Hills Hardware. But they're going to set up some vendors here. Actually, the festivities really don't start until about 11 o'clock. There are events from 9 until 11. But they're having the people come in from the train and a couple of buses. It'll be fun. Apparently, it's not as easy as it looks. So you can see the top of the train leaving over there. I didn't get a video of the train coming in because there's another train coming in at 11 o'clock. But this train has people for this event on it. And it's a leaving now. The next train was getting ready to come in that had all of our state representatives and other dignitaries to make speeches for the ceremony. I don't know who these people are, but it looks fun.
About 20 people. How many of them traveled all the way from Poland? You know, more than half. So we want to welcome our friends from Poland, and if we could give them a round of applause. We've got the Polish flag here. So a very warm welcome to Nenana. So just I'll tell you a little bit about what this is about, and then I'll turn some time over to Andy to do some introductions of the folks that are here with him. So what got this started was I was contacted by Andy about a plaque. He wanted to put up a plaque to commemorate the engineer who designed the railroad bridge. So this railroad bridge back over there down the river, the black one, was built 100 years ago, was completed 100 years ago, and it's named the Mears Memorial Bridge. But Colonel Mears, who oversaw the construction of the Alaskan Railroad, was not the one who designed this bridge. It was actually a gentleman named Ralph Majeski, who I've learned quite a lot about this year. And so I was contacted by these wonderful folks from Poland, and they asked if they could put up a plaque to commemorate the engineer Ralph Majeski in time for the railroad Centennial. And so they were not allowed to put a plaque on the bridge just because it would attract tourists up onto the bridge. And so we determined that this would be a great location for a plaque where tourists and the community could see it and appreciate it. And as we were talking on our first Zoom call, I had a suggestion because I have driven by countless plaques that I don't pull over to read. And so I said, well, what if we built a replica of the bridge as something to catch people's eye and a visual kind of a monument that would get people to stop and read the plaque. And they loved the idea, and not only did they support it, they actually paid for this bridge to be constructed by a company called Majeski Masters. So we want to thank them for that. And they also paid for and donated a plaque commemorating Ralph Majeski. And the condition was we'll donate the plaque and the bridge if you guys will build a base and frame for it. So to see it in a minute, but Jeannie really did a fantastic job of getting this together. We also have some folks that I don't believe are here with us today from Alaska Stone, which is off of Badger Road, who did a lot of the cutting of the steel with their CNC water jet. And so it's a lot of pieces, a lot of planning that had to come together in order to make this happen. And so before we unveil this, I'm going to turn some time over to Andy to introduce the folks who came here with him, and then we'll unveil this thing, and then. Okay. All right, so this, I tied this, it should be pretty simple, just a bow and then a slip knot. So you want to undo that, and then the other person can pull this off. So whoever would like to, just pull it off. Wow, it just gives me goosebumps to see this and to have these folks here. So this was a few concepts that came together. This bridge is to scale as far as the shape of it, but it's 4.5 feet. So the actual bridge is 700. It's to scale, and Jamie actually decided to do these accurately the way that they're done over there. These are not concrete. They look like concrete, but these are steel, and he welded all of these little pieces together here and painted them to look like the concrete abutments, is what I believe they're called. And then when we were drawing this, I actually found a sketch, like a elevation drawing of this bridge from before it was constructed, and it showed the banks on this side and on this side. And I thought it'd be really cool to show that in this design here. But I didn't know how we were going to mold that or build that. And if you notice, the riverbanks are kind of like shelves. You know, the water level kind of etches little shelves that look kind of like this. So I drew this up, this section of it, on AutoCAD, sent a DXF file to the guys in North Pole, who took those files and had their water jet cut them out.
And they left Columbus around 7. Oh Lord, they hit Louisville about 9. And poor boy's heart started overheating.
That's the train I wanted to get a video of. That's our charter train that I couldn't get on to come out here. That's the bridge we're celebrating today. We are going across that awful slow so they can talk about the bridge, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's why I want to check out this morning.
Oh, you're good. There's the train with all of our politicians on it.
donated this gazebo to the city of Nenana, and we know it's going to be put to great use by the mayor and the community here. And we just really want to thank the community for all the support they provided over the years, and we've got a great relationship with them, and continue to build on it. So that's my story. I am sticking with it, and we're going to cut the ribbon here.
Give an Irish guy sharp stuff, all right?
So we really appreciate the coordination that the Alaska Railroad has done with the city of Nenana and with our community. They've really done a fantastic job going above and beyond. I want to invite Christy up here, just so everybody can meet her. Christy Terry is the, oh boy, I forgot. The Director of External Affairs. You need to be reminded of it. Director of External Affairs for the Alaska Railroad, and she has been coming to community meetings. She's been reaching out to community businesses, and she's been trying to make sure that the community's involvement and input is taken into consideration in the planning of this event. And in some of those meetings, we talked about some of the things we were going to need, and one of them was parking. And so Nenana doesn't have a lot of big parking areas. Densely, it's kind of a dense area, and so we talked about some space behind the depot, and we've been wanting to build this parking lot over that direction. And I said, well, maybe we could build this, and the railroad could maybe reimburse us for part of it. And they were open to the idea, but it was way above what was able to be budgeted. And so, asking you shall receive, I said, well, what if we're building this little city square, what if you guys donated to us a gazebo? And she said, well, yeah, we can look into that. Let me ask my boss. So she asked, and they said yes. And so they donated this almost $20,000 gazebo. And so we went looking for a good gazebo that would be suitable to the area and for the purposes that we hoped for, and found this one in Rhode Island. I didn't know it was in Rhode Island. It's found it on their website. And we ordered it, and the shipping, I was sure that when I put in our zip code that the shipping price would just go through the roof. But it didn't change, and so we ordered this gazebo and found out it was coming from Rhode Island. The owner of the company called me a few days later, and he said, "You are the farthest away customer we've ever had." And he said, "I think Washington's about the farthest state that we've ever delivered to." And he said, "I've been trying for 5 days to get somebody who will ship this thing to Alaska for any reasonable price." And he said, I can't find anything for less than $5,000 or $6,000, and the shipping price was $2,000. And he said, but that's what was advertised on our website. It said the continental United States and Alaska is on this continent. So he said, I'm going to honor that. He said, I wouldn't do that to you guys. I would assume that by now they have updated their website to say contiguous United States. But I told him that it is going to a great cause. It is for the Alaska Railroad's 100-year Centennial. I told him I would take pictures of it when it was done, and he could put it on his website. And I wanted to thank the folks who put it together. We had some of our employees that were working on some of our other projects, and some of our city employees come together and install this thing.
Next, we had lunch and free root beer floats. We waited for the speeches. They were going to drive golden spikes into the railroad. And I missed that. There was too big of a crowd.
That day, my great-grandmother, Margaret John, at 8 years of age, watched as Nenana became the gateway to the interior. It is my honor to relive that experience and bear witness to what she did many years ago. To those who may not know me, my name is Caroline Ketzler. I'm the granddaughter of Caroline Ketzler and the late Hank Ketzler Sr. My parents are Robert Ketzler and Carrie Irish. I'm first chief of the Nenana Native Association, one of the oldest tribal governments in Alaska, as we became a federally recognized sovereignty by Judge Wickersham in 1915. We, the Native people of Nenana, assert our freedom as a sovereign people. We exercise the tribe's sovereign rights and powers in promoting the well-being and unity of our people, to affirm our faith in fundamental Native rights and traditions, and to promote our tribe's social, cultural, economic, and political progress. We are committed to maintain, improve, and protect the tribe, preserve its culture, heritage, create opportunities for its members to thrive and become economically and self-sufficient. To promote traditional values and beliefs, to ensure a positive course of action for future generations to come.
When we celebrated the 75th anniversary of the railroad right here in this location, and out of curiosity and by show of hands, who here was present for that 75th? That's a pretty good number. Awesome. Yeah, so I don't think I'll make it to the bicentennial, but it really is an honor to have so many people here, have traveled from a long distance, and to have so many people that prepared to make this day happen. I really wanted to extend a big thank you to everyone who volunteered, donated, coordinated, and worked to make this happen. So I wanted to show you something that is a artifact that was a gift from the city of Nenana to the President of the United States 100 years ago. And it is a small replica of the Mears Memorial Bridge that was made by a local jeweler out of Alaskan gold and silver. And this item, this gift that was given to him by the city of Nenana was taken home back to Ohio. As we know, President Harding didn't make it home to Ohio. He passed away in San Francisco. But I never knew where this went. And I'm a history nerd, and I looked all over online, and I couldn't find out where this is. And in my hunt for the golden spike, somebody told me to call the Harding home in Marion, Ohio. So I called the Harding home, and I asked them if they had the golden spike, and they said, no, everybody always asks if we have it. We don't have it. We don't know where it is. And I was telling them that I'd seen videos of it next to this little bridge, and they said, oh, we do have that. And she said, nobody's ever asked us about that. And I thought, well, how cool would it be to bring that back to Alaska? It was a very difficult challenge to get them to loan it to us. Their board, I don't know if they thought we were going to put it in a backpack and pass it around, but it was like national treasure yesterday. We had to very carefully handle it with gloves and put it into this glass case. So I wanted to show it to you guys. If anybody wants to get a closer look, it'll be in the depot for the rest of the day. Yeah, so it's gold. It's got a little tiny train inside of there on a track, and then there's a tiny little steamship underneath the bridge. So it's very tiny. It's very fragile, but we've got it here, and they made us keep it under our watch all the time. So it'll be going back. It'll probably not be coming back to Alaska, at least maybe not for a long time. And again,
thank you all. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. To be very, very clear, I had dark brown hair when I started 10 years ago, so write your own joke at this particular point. I've not mentioned it to John, our chair of our board at this point, but we actually have a couple more than 600 employees, but let's keep that on ourselves at this point. Right now, during the busy season, we have about 750 employees of the Alaska Railroad, and that is every single one of them is absolutely dedicated to what the railroad really stands for, and that is service to Alaska and Alaskans. And it is the Alaska Railroad is an absolutely unique entity. Among whether you talk to the Federal Railroad Administrator, whether you talk to some of the dignitaries in the office or in the area here, you talk to anybody, it's an entity unlike any other entity in the state or in a lot of ways in the country. And that's something that I think we should have a tremendous amount of pride in. And obviously, I'm a little bit biased about it. I think it's a fantastic organization. But this organization is absolutely key to the state of Alaska. And we have a mission statement. Our mission statement is safety, service, and profitability. And safety is our absolute key goal at all times, basic tenet of everything we do. Our customer service, serving our customers, serving the people of Alaska out there, and profitability. We actually have to be self-sustaining. And that's why we are this unique entity in state government.
Start with thanking for the invitation to be here. We are very happy to celebrate 100 years of Mayor's Bridge and Alaska Railroad. But I would like to acknowledge the role of the designer of the Mayor's Bridge, Ralph Modjeski. He was one of the greatest bridge engineers, not only in the United States, but all over the world. He's the one who designed many major bridges. The Mears Bridge is one of those which had real engineering challenges facing. There is an organization which I represent today, and that is Council of Polish Engineers in North America. And that council is very proud of being involved in this celebration. When we found out about 100 years anniversary of the bridge, we asked we contacted Mayor of Nenana. We had many discussions how to make it very special. And some of you attended earlier this morning unveiling of the plaque and of a replica of the bridge. And the mayor showed the mini replica made of gold. Ours is made of steel, but it's much bigger. And I would like to mention the names of the sponsors. The plaque was sponsored by the company Gotowski in Poland, and the president of the company is here with us, and the replica of the bridge was made by one of the engineers of Modjeski and Masters in Pennsylvania. And I think Mayor mentioned the problems we had with shipping these things. These are quite large. So the plaque was shipped from Poland and came right on time. And the replica of the bridge was also shipped on time, but we lost it. The mayor didn't know where is it, where it's going, and we didn't get it until last Saturday, I understand. So we were happy that it did arrive. I will not take too much of your time, but I would like to wish Alaska Railroad great successes. Having bridges.
Thanks, John, and it's an honor to be here. The Erie-Lackawanna Railroad would blow its whistle at 9 o'clock every night in Scranton, Pennsylvania. That's when I knew I had to go to bed. That's when my mother would yell upstairs, "Turn off the lights, go to bed." No, Scranton was, and still is today, it's a crossroads for the railroad. Coal, railroad, I was telling some of my staff today that I actually have spikes from some of those railroads in Scranton at my house in Wasilla. I actually have lumps of coal, anthracite coal, from some of those coal trains. Now, what I also told them, which I don't want to get into too many details, and I'm kind of happy my parents aren't here to hear this, but we used to do some interesting things with the railroad that you're not supposed to do. We would get coins and kind of flatten them out on the railroad. I don't want to start a trend here, but let me just say that there was some exciting times when we were kids. But it's an honor to be here with everybody. I was listening to a lot of these old people speak before me. And then I start to do the math. I realized I was one of them. But when I was born, this railroad was 38 years old. You got to do the math for that. It was 38 years old. But like Alaska in and of itself, it was all about promise, hope, and opportunity. So we're here today in Nenana, we're gonna drive the Golden Spike, but a little tent camp down on Ship Creek later became known as Anchorage, Alaska, which wouldn't have existed without the railroad. And so the Alaska is, in many respects, about a railroad. It's about hope. It's about opportunity. And again, that's what we're going to celebrate here today, 100 years. You know,
I am just so honored to be here. And look at this great turnout, and to the railroad and the mayor and the city of Nenana. How about a great round of applause? This is an amazing event. By the way, I do want to begin with a couple thanks. I don't know about you, but I got like a chill down my spine when I heard that rendition of the national anthem, right? I mean, Centennial, how about, what another incredible, man, you need to go national with that. That is really, really incredible. Governor, great to see you. Mr. Mayor, Mr. O'Leary, Bill, thank you for your leadership, and all the Alaska Railroad employees. Mr. Chairman, thank you for your great leadership. This is, like I said, just a great day, great event, so much enthusiasm. You know, we're learning from the past, but already we're talking about the future, which is, I think, why these kind of commemorations are so important. And there is this great history here. One other element of the history, you know, Colonel Mears, the Corps of Engineers colonel who built the railroad, was also an amazing builder of great things, big things. He was the builder of the Panama Canal, for example. So, I mean, all the history that is here. I did get the word that President Harding, when he was driving in the Golden Spike, he whiffed 6 times. So, Governor, I think we have a low bar today. So, if we're worse than President Harding, I think, you know, that's going to be pretty bad. So we'll see. No pressure. And then, you know, the other great history here to the Society, North American Society of Polish Engineers. We just heard about Ralph Modjeski. My understanding is there's 20 engineers from this society, from Poland, from Canada, from the lower 48. So can you stand to be recognized? That's amazing, right? Thank you for all being here. Really. And Chairman Shively already did it, but for the out-of-town guests, you know, in Alaska, we really honor our military here. We have more veterans per capita than any state in the country, right? We are a patriotic place. So once again, to our veterans and your families, how about a round of applause for them? They're everywhere here.
For that introduction, Senator Sullivan. It's great to be here alongside Governor Dunleavy and Senator Sullivan. I am honored to join you and remember my commitment to the Senator to visit Alaska. I want to thank and recognize representatives from the Alaska Railroad for organizing today's incredible celebration. On behalf of the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Federal Railroad Administration, I am honored to be here in Nenana to mark 100 years since the completion of the Alaska Railroad's main line. In addition to my first visit to Alaska, it's my first celebration to mark a 100-year-old railroad. Since its inception in 1923, the Alaska Railroad has played a pivotal role in our country by connecting towns and villages to the rest of Alaska, moving people, goods, and other resources. With rail lines originally built to connect Seward and Fairbanks, it's incredible to think how much daily life and our country have changed since President Harding first drove that Golden Spike. Thanks to the Alaska Railroad, new possibilities for trade, transportation, and tourism have flourished, not only for this region, but for the country. For all that's changed, rail's tremendous power and potential have remained constant. Today, the Alaska Railroad continues to play a vital role in safely transporting freight, supporting various industries such as oil, mining, and fishing. We also can't forget about its incredible passenger rail service. The 470-mile-long network carries about 500,000 passengers annually, from a hub in Anchorage to destinations like Denali National Park. The United States has...
know that we'll read the entire thing, but we will go ahead and, if we could have Representative Ashley Carrick. Oh, sorry.
So the abbreviated citation here from the Alaska Legislature, the 33rd Alaska State Legislature, honoring the Alaska Railroad Corporation Centennial. We honor a century of operations. The railroad and its builders, operators, and leaders have been one of the foundations of the state's development, supporting war efforts, transporting passengers between Alaska's largest cities, helping build the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, investing in real estate, and facilitating tourism and commerce across miles of remote and wild landscapes. The people, even more than the iron and steel, have served as foundational infrastructure driving economic development in the last frontier. Carrying freight and passengers across swaths of wild plains, rivers, and mountains, and harnessing ingenuity has turned Alaska into a destination for tourists and new residents alike. So again, the members of the 33rd Alaska State Legislature congratulate our Alaska Railroad Corporation on 100 years of operation and hope for more support and growth for our future.
On a field of blue, Alaska's flag hanging to you. The brilliant stars in the northern sky, the Bed Dipper and shining high, the great North Star with its steady light, all land and sea, a beacon bright, Alaska's flag to Alaska's dear, the simple flag of the last frontier.
So this is what all the hubbub's about. This big old bridge back here. Just the structure of this thing. Oh my gosh. And like they said in one of the talks, that this just recently had an inspection. It's 100 years old and it's still structurally sound. Very cool. If you are still interested in learning more and want to hear more of what happened, the things that I missed, check out Mayor Joshua Verhagen's Facebook page. They have it all on there. And then I went home.
For that long old train, won't you carry me? Oh, train, 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 won't you carry me?